The 2026 recruiting class is just beginning, and Nebraska is about to change Husker football forever. Matt Rhule is trying to get a top 10 class to Lincoln, and because of that, he's going after multiple 4-star and 5-star prospects. So in today's video, I'm going to break down who these recruits are, what they bring to the table, what's their interest in Nebraska, and will they commit to the Huskers? So really quick, we have a jam-packed recruiting episode today. Make sure to smash that like button if you're getting fired up. And while you're at it, please subscribe to the channel. I'm posting a video about Husker football and Husker recruiting every single day this summer. So if you're a diehard fan of Nebraska, join the family of 4,000 and hit that subscribe button. But without further ado, let's get into it. Talking some Nebraska recruiting, not the class of 2025, but the class of 2026. Things have started to heat up this past month with official offers going out. And like I said in the intro, Matt Rhule is after multiple 4- and 5-star prospects. He's going all out to get these guys. Let's just go to the number one recruit the Huskers are going after, and this is Jackson Cantwell, 5-star offensive tackle, consensus top 5 recruit in the country. I mean, man, he's about as good as it gets. Listed at 6'8", 300 pounds, coming out of St. Louis, Missouri. And you look at the offer list: Bama, Ohio State, Michigan, Oklahoma. Everybody wants him, and Nebraska's right up there. I think if you were to make a top 5 list right now, Nebraska would be at the very top, if not top 3. So, yeah, Nebraska's going after him hard. He's been to Lincoln multiple times, but let's talk about what he is as a player. Of course, he's a top 5 recruit. He is a great football player, but he also plays multiple sports. He plays basketball. He's one of the best shot putters in America. It should be noted that both of his parents were Olympians for the United States. So again, he has great genetics, and talking about him on the football field, he's one of the best tackle prospects we've seen in the last half decade. He has great technique, great footwork, uses his size well. He is a legit blue chip talent, and wherever he goes, he's going to be a day one instant impact player. So what's his interest in Nebraska? Of course, I mean, he has the pick of the litter. He can go wherever he wants in the country. Well, number one, he's been on multiple visits to Nebraska this offseason. He was there in the fall for the Michigan game, and he just loves talking with Raiola, loves talking with Matt Rhule. He actually met Will Compton, who he was on campus. So, again, he really, really likes Nebraska. And he said this, and I quote, "Their program is developing into something very good. They have a good offensive line system, and I have a good relationship with the coaches there." It also should be mentioned that Jackson Cantwell's mom is from Nebraska. She's from Crete, Nebraska. So he's grown up around the program. He's grown up in the state. There are some ties there. So Nebraska really has a good shot to land Jackson Cantwell. For that reason, they're going after him very hard. Again, I can sit here and hype up wide receiver prospects or running back prospects, but if you can get the number one tackle in the country, that's a big deal, and Jackson Cantwell is right up in there. So that is the first guy the Huskers are after. But let's talk about perhaps the most hyped up recruit Nebraska has offered in the class of 2026. And this is the younger brother of Dylan Raiola, Dayton Raiola. So Dayton Raiola right now is a 3-star prospect, according to two recruiting sites, listed at 6'1", 210 pounds. And now he only has two other offers from Charlotte and Appalachian State. Now, I'm going to start off saying the positives about Dayton. Number one, he has a very high potential, just as good as his brother, if not more. Again, we see that raw ability to throw the ball 60, 70 yards down the field. He has good instincts. He's a very smart kid. And also should be noted that Dayton Raiola, he grew up to be a bigger Nebraska fan than even Dylan was. So if Nebraska were to give him a committable offer right now, I bet he would sign it on the spot. But let's get into some of the cons about Dayton, because I think a lot of people expect Nebraska to get him, and they're confused why Dayton's not committed. Well, number one, I try to tell this, and I told people this in my film reaction about Dayton. He's a very raw prospect. Yes, he has the potential to be just as good as his brother, if not better, but we haven't seen that right now. He struggles with intangibles. He struggled with accuracy. And because of that, Matt Rhule has been actively recruiting other quarterbacks over Dayton Raiola. They recently were going after a guy by the name of Oscar Rios very hard. He ended up committing to Purdue. So they're continuing to offer guys in the 2026 class. My thing about Dayton is that this is a big prove-it year for him. He obviously is at Buford High School, which is one of the best high schools in the country. He's fighting for that starting job. If he does not win it, that's detrimental for his recruiting process. He's got to win that and prove that he's a Power 5 quarterback, and honestly prove to Matt Rhule that he should be a Nebraska guy. Right now, he does not have a committable offer from what it sounds like. That's why Nebraska is going after other players. But man, I mean, this is a big year for Dayton. I know I'm going to be watching him extensively, but again, he has that potential. We know he does. He can be just as good as his brother, if not better. Again, you're going to take a guy who can, throw 60, 70 yards down the field, but this is a big prove-it year for Dayton. But hopefully, again, he can play as good as we know he can, and he will be a Nebraska commit sooner rather than later. So that's my update there about Dayton. I would expect him to commit likely after the fall season if he starts. Let's take it in-state. What's one of the best players from the state of Nebraska for this class? Keeping it on the offense, let's go to the tight end spot, and this is Isaac Jensen. So another Millard South kid, again, recent Millard South alum. You see the helmet back there. This guy's a 3-star tight end listed at 6'6", 210 pounds, and he has been blowing up in the recruiting process recently. He's been getting offers from Texas A&M, Kansas State, Florida State, Kansas, among many others. And let's put this into perspective. Nebraska currently is going after 4-star tight end Chase Lofton. I've watched both of those guys extensively. Isaac Jensen might just be better already, and he's a year younger. That's how good Isaac Jensen is. Of course, he's 6'6". He can do it all. Really good hands, uses his size very well. He can be very physical at times, and last year in a sophomore campaign had 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. So, yeah, man, I mean, the 402's just getting better. Omaha Town's just getting better, and Isaac Jensen, very interested in Nebraska. If there's one school that the Cornhuskers and Matt Rhule want to lock down going forward, it's Millard South, because I'm going to tell you this. They're going to have multiple 4-stars and even potentially 5-stars for the next decade plus. They're building something special there. You've got to build those ties within that high school. So locking down the 402. But let's take it to one more prospect. This is kind of a sleeper back to the O-line. Nebraska's been going after him very hard. And this is a guy who goes by the name of Hudson Parliament, a borderline 4-star offensive lineman out of South Dakota. And this is a standard riser in the recruiting process. He was honestly unknown until a couple months ago, where he was going on a bunch of camp visits to Nebraska, Iowa, Wisconsin. And man, has he been getting offers. He's listed at 6'4", 300 pounds. He's got offers from Iowa State, Iowa, Minnesota, Texas Tech, Wisconsin. And he was recently in Lincoln, Nebraska for Nebraska Friday Night Lights, and he wowed the coaching staff. He was one of the only prospects to get an offer that night. Yeah, I mean, he watched him on film. He's a very good combination of raw athleticism and strength. Can play all over the offensive line. He can play guard. He can play tackle. Hey, he might even be able to flex and play center. So he has that positional flexibility. He's developed in the pass pro along with in the running game. And yeah, man, I mean, really, really good prospect. He's a guy I fully expect in a year from now, he will be a high 4-star type of caliber guy, and he's going to get some legit offers. After his junior year, we could see, a team like Alabama swoop in there, a team like Georgia. They've, recruited guys in the Midwest from time to time. That's how good Hudson Parliament is. He's about to blow up. So Nebraska, it's good that they're building that connection with him right now, and hopefully they can get him to commit. Now, I'd say one school that Husker fans have got to be worried about, Iowa. Iowa's after him as well. We know that they've been able to get some top-tier offensive linemen from South Dakota and the Midwest. So Hudson Parliament to round things off, but some really good recruits Nebraska is after, and it's just beginning. We're going to start seeing these guys come on, or not official visits, but visits in the fall, coming to games, and that's when things start to heat up. But hopefully Nebraska gets a commit. It is interesting. The Huskers have 0 commits right now in the class of 2026. If you look around the country, most programs already have 3, 4, 5 commits. Nebraska's a little bit late to get somebody, but I think that's going to change very, very soon. All right, guys, that's what I got here for prospects to keep your eyes out for. Let me know down below, which one of those guys do you want the most? And hey, if you made this far in the video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And as always, folks, go big red, go Matt Rhule, and see you in the next one.